Welcome to Embracing Infinity, exploring the infinite oneness in the space of love and truth. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and transformational guide. Her focus is encouraging individuals to know themselves within the lens of their divine heart and highest potential, to evolve within the frequency of love and peaceful harmony. Now, here's your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Actually, still morning here on the West Coast, but not for long. We're almost at lunchtime. Welcome to Embracing Infinity. I am Jennifer Rose, and we are on the Sacred Spiral Network. And Miss Kelly Brickle is our producer. So if everyone wants to give a shout out and a thank you to Kelly for taking care of us here today, that would be wonderful. Happy Friday. I hope you are all doing well and looking forward to a fun adventurous weekend, or maybe some R&R if you've had a lot going on today. But I'm so happy to be live with all of you here today as you're all starting to come on too. I have a couple of quick announcements for you. And I am so excited to be bringing on my special guest today, Tracey Peffer. She's so lovely, and we're going to have a really fun discussion today. We can answer some questions, and we can do a few readings for you as well. So that'll be a lot of fun because I know you all love that too as well. At 1 o'clock today, Pacific time, which is 4 on the East Coast, and 9 in the UK, Miss Kelly Brickle will be having her Psychic Hour show on with guest Christina Bloom. So you'll have a quick lunch or snack, and then please come on back and watch Kelly's show as well. So that will be a lot of fun, and don't want to miss that. This coming Sunday, which I will be posting shortly, I am going to be teaming up with Angel Messenger Shannon Rattay and Medium, and what I like to call the fairy queen, Miss Fran Pierce, and my other medium friend as well. And the three of us are going to be doing messages from the Enchanted Realms this coming Sunday. And we will be doing angel readings, fairy readings, dragon readings, whatever the realms would like to bring forth for us to hear today. And I know we had so much fun doing this a couple of months ago. So, and a lot of people just loved it. So we decided to do it again and even add to it a little bit too. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. So we hope you can join us for that as well. And I hope you're all doing well, getting ready for Thanksgiving here in the States, which is next week as well. Yes, Michelle, my darling, we will be taking questions, so we will look forward to answering that for you. So thank you for being here today. Take a quick break and just want to say hello to everybody who is coming in. Miss Karina Special, hello, good to see you again, darling. And Miss Jennifer McCormick, how are you doing? And of course, Michelle Krantz, hello, hello. Joanne Lewis, hello. Well, thank you, Jennifer. That's very kind of you. And Michael Christopher, hey, how are you? Good to see you, love. And there's our friend Pierce. Fairies galore indeed. Can't wait to work with you on Sunday, friend. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so exciting. You all don't want to miss that. Hello, Rhonda Harris. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. And there's our Ronnie Shabazian. How are you doing, darling? Good to see you. And Marion Frisbee. Hello, hello. Great to see you. Hi, Marion. And there's Heidi. Hi. How you doing, Heidi Goal? And very good to see you. Oh, from Boulder, Colorado. I didn't know that. Okay, good to know. So it's so fun how we're all connected, like, across the states and across the ocean too. It's so beautiful. I love this so much. Elizabeth Jones, hello. How are you doing today? So thanks everybody as you're coming on and joining us. And so I'm going to just chat for a few minutes, and then we will bring on Tracey. And again, so excited to have her on today as well. And it's going to be a beautiful hour of discussion too. Oh, you're in the UK, Joanne. Thank you. Thanks for letting us know where you're from. And Miss Amy Mann is joining us. How you doing, Amy? Good to see you. Oh gosh, all the beautiful people are here too with your beautiful energy. So very exciting, very exciting. Okay, so I wanted to share a little bit about a couple things that showed up for me yesterday, and of course there's always these divine synchronicities, and I get amazed by it all, but of course they like to show me things, especially if they know that I'm going to be talking to a group too. So they kind of get me ready through some experiences of my own that I can use as like a springboard for all of you. And so it's always kind of like divinely orchestrated that way, but I'm always like, wow, look what they did too. So a couple of things happened yesterday too, and I know that we have had some huge, massive energy shifts in these last couple of months. I know we're all kind of going, whoa, we're kind of like buckling our seatbelts and kind of bracing and wondering like when are things kind of going to settle down. We've been talking week by week about transformation from all these different facets and all these different perspectives and perceptions with all of the different guests, and we're getting close to the end of the year now too. So it's a really good time to kind of like package things up and like see how far we've come and see how far we've grown. Another knock on the wall from Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, because they're definitely wanting to emphasize that for all of you. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you, love. And but a couple of things happened yesterday. I took a little self care in the afternoon in between work. And because I work all the time, like 7 days a week, morning, afternoon, evening. So I took a little self care afternoon. And there was a like a TV monitor playing. And I chose to just not be on my phone, not listen to music, not talk, anything like that. And I was looking at the TV monitor, and it was just playing like a nature video that would probably repeat. And I all these beautiful little butterflies and dragonflies, and they were landing on flowers, and it was just so pretty. And there wasn't even any sound to it, too. I was just having such a fun time looking at that. And I thought to myself as I looked at that, and this is just a reminder of what we already know, right? I thought to myself, there's so much going on in the world outside of what's happening in our minds. Our minds are constantly telling these, beautiful stories and evaluating everything and perceiving things, trying to understand things. And we can really get in that space and stay there for a long time, right? Especially for us spiritual folk, because we love being connected to spirit, and we're always like waiting for a sign or waiting for a message and things like that. And it's so easy to kind of like escape over into like the psychic reality for people like us. But here in this world, which is still spiritual, as I love to say, there's so much beauty out there to connect to. And it was just this lovely little like, oh, look at that, with the butterflies and things. I was like, there's a whole world out there to be explored. There's a whole beautiful world out there to be appreciated, and there's so many blessings to have gratitude for. And so it's just this little happy moment that I wanted to share with you all, because I thought you'd appreciate it. So if you have time to look out your window, go outside, and just take a quiet moment without any other external stimuli happening, and just be in that little quiet space and remember like, oh, there's this beautiful world, worlds and worlds and worlds and worlds, because in the land of the butterflies and the dragonflies and the flowers, that's like their little world, and we're just like looking into it, right? And they're like looking into us like we're another world, kind of like the Men in Black movie. And it's fascinating, to see these worlds within worlds within worlds, and even within our system, even within our physical bodies, there's worlds within worlds playing out that we're not even aware of, like in our organs and things like that. And it's fascinating. And then the second thing was I was speaking with a beautiful soul yesterday, and we were chatting in the evening, and she was telling me a story. She's a beautiful friend of mine, and she was telling me a story of how she worked as a diving instructor on this like beautiful paradise island during her lifetime for about 9 to 10 months, and she was in the water like all day and all day and into the evening, and was sharing with me how connected to nature she became. She could predict the weather. She could feel the sea life, even if it was dark, which means the water's dark. You can't see anything, even with a light on you, too. She could feel the sea life. And it was a lovely story that she was telling me about. And I thought interesting. I was like, you know what? That's just like being in the womb. It was like between 9 and 10 months that she did this job before she felt the call of spirit to come back home. And I was like, oh, that's like a pregnancy. That's like being in the womb, immersed in water for between 9 and 10 months is just like a pregnancy too. And she was like, wow, you're right. And it was a rebirthing for her. And isn't that fascinating? I got chills as I say that. And it's really fascinating. And the the realization is that we are always going through these kind of gestational periods where we're um, in a space that is changing us. And it's not until this sort of end of space where we kind of come out into another level of awakening and then realize what's just happened. Like, oh, everything that's been taking place has happened to get this, big rebirth. And of course, there are lots of like the little rebirths and mini rebirths that, happen on a regular basis because we're always transforming, we're always changing, we're always mutating in a way, and it's fascinating too. But it was just a beautiful story that I wanted to share with you all of how we, you know, consistently become aware of what I'm going to say is our allness in the most fascinating and mysterious, beautiful way. We are so multidimensional, and there are so many beautiful parts of each of us that we are consistently becoming aware of. And I talk a lot about bringing, the parts of us that we're not aware of into more self love and bringing them into the conscious, or what we might call the conscious thinking mind, our personality, right? But we are always whole. We just come more into the awareness of the wholeness. And isn't that beautiful? Because when we're in perspective, we're less aware of the wholeness, but we're always coming more into awareness of the wholeness, especially when we can find the courage inside of us to do that, to really get to know you. We call it know thyself, right? And the more you get to know you, the more you know yourself and get in touch with all the beautiful parts of you with this, full embracement and full self love. Another knock on the wall from spirit. um, then that unfolding process um, enables you to feel what you call your spiritual power, your spiritual essence, your oneness being in the two-ness or the allness or the many-ness, and there'll always be these little mysteries and paradoxes and rhymes, but it's beautifully orchestrated by the, creator of all of us so that we can have these amazing experiences too. So those are a couple little things I wanted to share about transformation is reminding us that we are always, rebirthing in a most beautiful and perfect way. And so whatever you may be experiencing now, you might just be in the womb. You might just be in the womb and you're wondering, when's this going to change? When is this going to move forward? When is this going to happen? I've been trying so hard to make all of this happen. Well, you might just be in the womb. And then, lo and behold, there'll be a time when you will give birth to the next, version of you and the more awareness of the wholeness of you. And number two, when you get really busy in the thinking mind and that's all you are aware of, remember there's so much else around you to be discovered, to be experienced, to behold in awe, and many blessings to be counted. And so just take that moment, looking outside, Even maybe you have pets in your house, look at them, stare at them, watch them, and they're in their little world too, and make the connections. And all of those beautiful connections, embracing infinity. So I will leave you with that. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all of you very much. I can feel your lovely energy. Quick break. And I want to say hi to everybody who has joined us. So Lynn, of course, has joined us. Hello, Lynn Janot. Hello, Jesse. Hi, Jesse. Good to see you. So happy that you're resonating with that. Hi, Vivian from Hawaii. Aloha. How are you, darling? Good to see you. And Elaine. Hi, Elaine. Thank you for joining us here today. And oh, Heidi, sitting outside now, listening to the birdies and the truth and the amazement of nature. Yeah, I'm right there with you, girl. That is so beautiful. And that's how we find, much more peace of mind that way too. I want to say hi to Hartenden, Nick Hartenden. Hello, thank you for being here too. Good to see you. And T. Lynn as well, and Beth White. Hello. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here again today. Oh, from Oregon. Lovely. See, it's a small world. It's a big world, but it's a small world. So um, thank you so much. And now let me please welcome my beautiful guest that's coming on. She's a beautiful soul, friend of mine, a lovely medium, and a healer and an author. And I am honored and thrilled and excited to have her joining us here today and see what she can share with us as well. So let's bring on Tracey.
Hi,
Hi,
Jennifer.
Tracey. How are you?
Good. What a beautiful message that you just gave. That was really hit home for sure. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Spirit always has a way of, helping us know what we're supposed to do and keeping the
Right.
stars aligned. So I'm so thankful that you're here with us. So thank you for sharing this space with us and allowing all of our beautiful friends to get to know you too, because we're consistently, spreading out our beautiful community of spirit here too. And I know we've known each other for quite a few years now, but they may not know you as well too. So I would love it if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about yourself, if you would, please, for everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. We met a couple of years ago. Actually, we didn't realize we had met at a class. I think that was in 2018. But I love your opening about awakening, because I feel like that's what I had as an awakening. I thought I had my life all figured out. I am still married. I have 3 kids. They were raised, grown up, off to college. I spent my career as a mortgage broker. I'm still a mortgage broker. And then my energy shifted and I started having some dream premonitions that I just thought that was weird, to be honest. I just completely blew them off, but they were pretty big dream premonitions. Like one was about cars that were burning on the freeway, and we were heading to Las Vegas. And for some reason, the morning of, I said, we got to leave really early, but I had no idea why. And then we get to Las Vegas only to find out that the 15 freeway had been shut down from this huge fire from 20 cars burning. And I just thought, that's weird. I just dreamt about that a couple nights ago. And then it wasn't until I met someone that was a hypnotherapist that said, you should really look into this. This is more than just a coincidence. And the more I delved into it, I feel like you're awakening and being open to receiving. My energy just shifted. It was just like the stars were aligning. And I was then waking up to people at my bedside at 4 a.m. And I'm trying to say, honey, this person is here. And he's like, what's happening? He was in the beginning not on board and not, wanting to believe any of this. And then the more things that happened, he just couldn't deny it. So it's been a really cool process. I've learned just to trust, surrender, and be open. And the more that you're open to it, information comes through. And you may not remember, but years ago, I actually had a reading with you. I was driving down to Mission Viejo to take classes during the day because I didn't want him to know, my husband, in the beginning. And you gave me a reading, and you said that music was important, and that I needed some healing. I was like, I didn't really think that you're all that accurate or good. And I'm telling this because if you are open to receiving, that's it. Things
Mhm.
just happen. And I found out that music was so important, and that really um, became a big part, I think, of my journey. And so I tell people when I sit before someone, just be open to receiving. Sometimes information makes sense now, sometimes it makes sense later. But if you can just be open to receiving, you're going to get so much more out of the message. And we all, I think, have the ability to manifest what we want. You and I talked also a little earlier about, the power to manifest. And if you want it, you can get it. You can go to someone and have a reading, and they can enlighten you. But really, you have the power within you. So that's what I try and do. Is I try and inspire people to go within, and spark a little flame, so that they then have the power within them to live the life that they want.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of like Dorothy and Glinda, right? We're kind of like being
Kind of
like
like it.
Glinda.
Yes, kind of like it.
Yeah, it's very true. And sometimes when we have these feelings, we're not always aware of those impressions that the person who's reading for you is giving, but they can show up later. And start to unfold later. Because yeah, I've had people come like 3, 5 years later, and they go, "That thing you told me back then actually really did happen," and I'm like, "Phew." So,
Yes.
you know,
You gotta just trust and surrender, which
yeah,
trust
trust
me.
and surrender, and just be open. Yeah, just be
Yeah.
open to of allowing those energies. And you see a lot of people saying hi to you. I know Tanita's
Aw.
just joined. Hello, and Jeffrey's just joined. Hello, good to see you. Thanks for all joining us here today. And I did want to ask, thank you, Vivian. Yes, I did want to ask, because you talked about the dreams, and I
Yes.
did read a little bit of your story because you're an author and
Yeah.
you've been featured in a couple of books. Is that these
Yeah.
dreams actually happened when you were little too,
Yes.
and then took a little
Yes.
break, and then they started up again as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I've had this obviously ability my whole life, but I feel like everyone has the ability.
Mhm.
But certain things may kind of like, bring it more forward, or it runs in the family. I found out it runs in the family, but no one talks about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, my family actually put a no Ghostbuster sticker on my door because I would wake up to somebody floating above my bed. I'm like, who is this person? Yeah, at one point I had moved, I think when I was 19, I lived with my sister in a condo, and it was used to be on a cemetery. So, so
Oh
yes, 4
wow.
a.m. is when they would come. And I was like, there was a lady in my room last night. And
And your family's like, I don't know what to do with that. Like, oh
yeah,
my
they
gosh,
just said, okay, are you okay?
Yeah,
You're tired,
I
you're
know.
overtired. A lot, they would say you're overtired. But I went in 2020, my daughter was due to give birth, and my grandparents actually came to my bedside and said, it's time. And again, 4 a.m. So I woke up my husband. I said, oh my God, my grandparents are here. And they said, it's time. He's like, it's time. It's time for what? And then I'm like, oh my God, it must be Natalie. She must be ready to have her baby. And yes, she did. She
And
had her
she
baby that
did.
day.
Oh
So just
gosh.
trust and surrender. That's what I've
Yeah,
learned.
I it's so cool when you get those premonition dreams too, because not
Yeah.
everybody gets those too. And I get some dreams that are very like vivid, but they're not as frequent as I think I would probably like them to be, But so
Yeah.
I know when they do happen to really pay attention,
To
because I will
listen.
remember them
Yes.
very clearly, and that's when I know, okay, like there's definitely something happened there, something's opened up, and it's like what's the consciousness trying to tell me as well too. So beautiful story. And I love that you and your husband were able to move into the cannot deny. Like too much has happened, I cannot deny that, like, my
Yes.
wife is gifted in this way, and that spirit is in the home with us too. And um, you would probably agree that when you start to do this work, when we start to do this work, that everybody we're connected to starts to be affected by it too. So we spark a healing process and an awakening process in our family and in our friends too, and we may not see it right away, but it's there. We're too connected to
Absolutely.
not have that
Yes.
happen.
Yes. My husband actually is very psychic himself, and he,
Yeah.
when I met him, would just know information about people. And I found I kind of was reflecting back his childhood. He actually had a near-death experience himself. And so I'm like, I feel like that opened you up to this and you just didn't even know what it was. And now that I pointed out, he's like, you're right. How do I know this about this? So now he's
Yeah.
like really in tuned and listening, which is great. It's fun.
Yeah,
Fun to
a
see.
lot of people who, they aren't, spiritual, so to speak, and I know that's just a label, but they don't realize they're using their intuition the whole time or that they're being healers the
Yes.
whole time. They just think that
Yes.
they're just not even aware that this is happening naturally, but that it's kind of something special, and they think, oh, this is just my gut. I'm just trusting my gut, or just mother's intuition. People can accept that, or you just had a feeling, but don't necessarily
Yes.
take the time to question, oh, wait, I just had a feeling. What does that mean? But
Right.
sometimes those words can be helpful when other people who are, not quite as into the maybe words that we like, to help them accept things a little bit better. We can use those kinds of words like, you just have a knowing, or it's just your mother's intuition, or something like
Yeah.
that too.
That actually was
Um,
one of the things I help people is try to find their inner compass because yeah, we all have this knowing sense, but it's like, wait, what does this mean for me? And how do I trust it? And how do I know like it's in my head or is this really happening? And I do love that. It's like we can all embrace it, walk into it, and find our own answers from within for sure.
yeah, yeah, and it's difficult when we start hearing and seeing spirit, because we might think we're going a little bit mad, or we think,
Right.
talk about Alice
Oh,
in Wonderland, folks. I mean, really? And
yes.
also, and we have to be careful with that too, because you talk to the wrong people about that, then they think you need psychiatric help or, medication. And some
Right.
people do, but I'm not talking
Right.
about that group of people. I'm not talking about mental illness. I'm talking about connecting with spirit. And then when we go through these awakening processes too, because there's a lot of unconscious and conscious processes starting to merge together, we think we're going a little bit mad too, because it's like there's, we're hearing things and seeing things that we don't understand, sometimes a little bit scary
Yes.
too, but that's just the integration of the duality of the darkness from the unconscious mind, trying to come forth so that we can have these experiences of both, to become aware of our wholeness, so to speak, too. But we can often just think like, oh my God, I'm going crazy, and you don't know who you're going to talk to about it, who you can trust, who will believe you. Those are hard.
Right, right. In the beginning, I didn't tell a lot of people, but I just was so
Yeah.
fascinated by this whole industry. And then it was like, I feel like I am supposed to tell people because here I am, a businesswoman. I've had a business background, worked in the business for for the last 30 years. I need to tell people about this because this is so cool. If we could all tap into our inner knowing and help us guide us throughout the day, like how cool is that, So yeah, I
Yeah.
just kind of got over myself and just said, I'm just going to talk about it. So when the opportunity arises, I'll be, with a client or at a meeting and just say, oh, by the way, they'll be like,
I love
what?
that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you're called Tap In with Tracy.
That's
I
why I
love
call
that.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how you can combine the two together. It's like you can be spiritual and you can kind of do something in the 3D world, you
Yes.
can do it however it works for you too. And um I've had people kind of think like, why am I doing this job? Because it feels so not spiritual for them. And they're like, why am I here? And they don't understand that, they're placed there maybe for a purpose, which is to spread that awareness or spread the healing or just be the light in the group. And that sometimes just your presence and just your energy can affect the group of that workplace collectively without you even realizing it too, that you are making a difference. So if you find yourself sort of planted, kind of like my friend who was planted in the ocean for
Right.
for a
Right.
gestational period, right?
Right.
You find yourself
Right.
planted somewhere you don't understand. There's probably a reason for it too, so you just got to
Absolutely.
water that, and like you said, trust and surrender. Seashells, hi, it's good to see you. You see a rainbow orb in your home, and it was metallic and shiny and colorful.
Uh,
Ooh, I love
that
that.
feels magical to me. That's
It does,
magical.
yeah. I'm like wondering if like was that a fairy? Was that an angel? That feels very, very magical too. Too. And Jennifer's talking about her dream state. She connects in the dream state too, that she can connect with spirit. So what so many lovely gifts too. Um, I do think we could answer. Oop, there's another knock. Did you hear that one?
I did not, but I love your little knocks, Jennifer.
They do it all the
That's so
time.
fun.
I'm so lucky.
That is so fun.
You know, they communicate. Well, I should ask you this before I know we all want to get to our questions with our guests here today, like of how
Mhm.
spirit communicates with you. Because I get the knocks, and then
Mhm.
I get the awarenesses. I get license plates all the time when I'm out, like driving and stuff. Like it's almost every time I go out somewhere, I'm going to see a license plate or even a sticker or something like that. And my awareness is drawn to it so quickly that I know it's not just a random thing, so those are like some of
Right.
the fun ways that I get. But how about you? Like, how do you get like the signs and synchronicities
Oh
in addition to
gosh,
the dreams?
like you, I'm out walking in nature every day. I just feel like that's so important to stay grounded. And like I'll have like two hummingbirds that are literally just buzz by my face. And that just happened the other day. Two hummingbirds. I'm like, whoa, okay. The next day it was a massive bumblebee. Like this bumblebee, just like you don't see those very often. Like, okay, hello. And then the next day it was two butterflies. I'm like, okay, I'm listening, people. I am listening.
That is so beautiful. I
Yeah.
love it when we get the birds and the butterflies and the
Yes,
hummingbird.
and just trust.
Yeah.
And then we were talking earlier about cards. I don't really use cards, but I have some cards on a shelf in my bedroom. And for some reason, a couple days ago, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just shuffle and pull a card. So I pulled a card for myself and it was manifesting. And I feel like that's what I've been doing. I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna shuffle the deck again, pull another card. There's 44 cards. I pull the manifesting card again. I'm like, wait, twice in a row out of 44 cards. I'm like, okay, put the deck away. The next day, I'm like, I'm gonna pull another card, shuffle it again, really, really good this time. Pull the same manifesting card. I'm like, okay,
Wow.
I'm listening. I'm
Yeah.
listening. I'm here. I'm listening and I'm open.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. It's really the more open we are to the magic of spirit, because spirit happens, as we know, in the place of the imagination, and the spirit realm is incredibly symbolic, like our dreams, right? And so the more we're open to that symbolism of spirit, and think about like all of the archetypes and all of the sort of different dimensions of that, it's really fascinating. And I have found that my openness to that, and as working with my students, being open to that too, that our mediumship gets so much more expansive in the way that loved ones can communicate with us, because they know that we're open to it, and so they communicate in the most beautiful unfoldment. It's all so magical, and so it's like, I think we're all feeling it. We're feeling that, like, that burst of magic, and
I
it's
love
just
that.
amazing. T. Lynn, I love what you're sharing about the book Spiritual Emergency for people who are going through those intense awakening. And it's, yeah, psychiatrist open to spirituality. That's a nice combination too. So thank you for sharing that as well, because there are probably people who need that because they don't understand what they're going through, especially people who are in like the Kundalini awakenings. Those are very, very intense things that are happening with them too. Lynn, you sit on your patio in the cold every morning to sit in the power. I asked for a hummingbird yesterday, and within a minute, one came to my
I
feeder.
love
Oh,
that. I love
that's so
that.
beautiful, Lynn. Thank you for sharing with that with us. I love it. If anyone else wants to share their signs as well,
I feel like that is so
seashells.
cool too to ask.
Yeah.
When you ask, you receive.
Yes.
That's all we
Yes.
have to do. We just have to ask, like, what do we want? Just ask
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I know. I did that yesterday, and I was like, give me a sign. And like a second later, I was like, oh my God, it's right there. I was like, wow.
I
Like
love
it
it.
was literally within a second that I was just like, wow, oh my gosh. To so Lynn's saying she sits in the power in the cold, and she asked for the hummingbird. Oh, that's right. So that's very exciting too. And then Seashells has her apartment painted black, which is neutral for you. So not sure what it was, but it was something. Oh, okay. So you're talking about seashells, the orb you saw against the black wall too. So that's interesting. You know, interesting with the, because that makes me feel almost seashells like you're kind of like in a womb of your own, in that, you know, with
Mhm.
walls painted black like that too. I know sometimes with children, the children who are maybe working with like a therapist, if they say have a learning disability or they're highly sensitive, sometimes they will paint rooms black because it's very low in stimulus and they can feel very peaceful
Mm.
in that too. So interesting thing to share, that sometimes that can be sometimes the best color, you know, for you to be in too. So I love that. I want to say hi to Dominic, also with the license plate too. So I know we had some questions. Michelle, I'm not sure if you're still here, but you were the first question. And she was saying, if you want to take this one, Tracy, figurine that
Mhm.
winds at the bottom. So that's kind of like those music boxes. And it
Mhm.
began playing music by itself for 20 seconds. Oh, who was that? I don't know
Oh
who it
my God.
was, but, you know, as I like to say, the fact that it happened.
Yeah. And to me, so I don't know if she has a mama or a grandma in spirit. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling. But it
Yeah.
also to me is telling me for Michelle, like just stop for a minute and just listen, just stop and just listen, because it seems like she's busy and got a lot of things going on and running. It's like just stop and just listen, and magic happens. That's what I'm feeling with that
Yeah,
message.
I
It's
love that too. Yeah, I was kind of feeling grandmother as well with that too,
Mhm.
and like trying to say hello, trying to say we're here, showing that you're becoming more open, and also just the magic in that it happened as well is amazing, you know. So it's like you got both. You
Mhm.
got the magic, and then you got, you know, the person delivering that magic to you. So that's a big thank you, spirit, too, with that too. So I hope that was helpful too. If there's any other questions you'd like to ask Tracy and myself. And hi, Jade. Good to see you. Jade's here with us too.
Yay,
And
Jade.
Aspen is sharing. Her middle name is Hope. That's so
Oh
beautiful.
my
And
gosh, I
during a
love
time
that.
of confusion and hurt, you saw a sign that said hope. And the window below
Ah,
said you're loved. And the apartment across the street was 888, which is
oh my gosh, I love that. I
infinity.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Middle
sharing.
name is
That
Hope.
is
Gosh, I feel
beautiful.
like her mom is really spiritual herself to name her Hope. That's how I'm feeling with that,
Hmm.
that
Yeah,
that
I
she was
agree. I
brought
know.
into a spiritual family for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Aspen, how does one know if a soul is a soul tie there, even though there was a separation, there was a recent reconnection, and how does one approach knowing if it's worth it again? Okay, so a soul connection and there is a separation. I'm assuming this might be a partner of yours, Aspen,
Mm.
but you feel the that thread of connection spiritually. And how do you know if it's worth going a revisit of that relationship? What do you want? What do you think, Tracy?
Aspen, I say to go within yourself and ask you have a sense of knowing. So you already kind of know, if it's going to be worth it again. It feels like you're kind of dancing on the edge of whether or not you want to move forward. And he is as well, he or she, whatever the connection you were with this other person. Because it feels like you both have been hurt in the past before, maybe. And then that's kind of like, it just is bringing up some old wounds, maybe not from that person, but from someone before them. And I feel like, when you send your love in and put your authentic self forward, like what's supposed to happen is what does happen. And also to lean into that sense of knowing, does this feel right for me? Because I'm feeling like you're not sure, and it's like, and he's not sure. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Tracy. Got a couple of knocks while you were saying that too.
Oh,
So
I love
they're
that.
really on top of it today.
Yeah.
So
Love your
that
knocks,
that
Jennifer.
yeah, I know, right? Me too, right? And Aspen, I'm feeling like you also will get some messages from the music that connects the two of you as well. So I feel like that's important to listen to the messages in the music. These invisible threads of connection, especially when there are love connections too, they don't ever die. Love is eternal that way too. But I have found a lot of times with these types of connections, it's an invitation to really have a union with your own self. So really move into, yeah, you're unsure due to the pain. Yes, I understand.
Okay. Yeah.
And so these are opportunities
Explain
for
that. Hmm.
tremendous healing. But it's also
Yes.
important that
Hmm.
you take care of you, and
Hmm.
know what's right for you too, just like Tracy said. Yeah, you understand the
Hmm.
music. Yeah. And
Aw.
and the union with yourself of really doing that work of getting to know you and really like moving into
Hmm.
what the unconscious parts of you would like to help you become aware of, and having that what I like to say merging, but it's really just another way of saying you're becoming more aware of your wholeness, right? And when you do that, you're going to free up a lot of energy that's being used elsewhere to kind of like have that sort of separation, more sense of separation of self. And that energy will be freed up to help you get more of that knowing, so that way you can have the clarity, because it's hard when different parts of you are giving you different ideas of what to do, right?
Mm.
And so we need to talk to those parts and see if we can bring them into agreement, and that will help you know how to move forward. So I'd recommend, like Tracy said, taking that time for you, to sit in the stillness and sit in the quiet, sit with your self, as often as you're able to do, and that's going to help you moving forward. But you're not in a rush as well. I feel like I need to tell you.
I love that.
You're not in
And
a
allow
rush.
the healing. Allow the healing, because
Yeah.
sometimes we fight it. I know many times I sit with someone and I say, you need some healing. They go, no, 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 not me. I'm good. It
Mhm.
just allow it. Allow it to come forward. It's coming up
Yeah.
for a reason. So allow it to come forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And healing doesn't mean anything's broken. It doesn't mean
No.
wrong. It
Yeah.
just means adding more love, like becoming more
Yes.
loving towards self. And that love and that energy helps to transform experiences into more of what you are wanting versus what you think you're not wanting, if that makes sense. So healing is not always what people think it means. They think it means I have
Right.
to fix something.
No.
But it's more of a positive transformation.
It's the
Aspen,
energy
your heart
shift
is
and the
racing.
awakening.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So resonating. She's resonating. Okay, good,
I
Aspen.
love
I'm so
that. I
happy
love
that we were
that.
able to help you.
Yay.
Yeah, that's so beautiful too. Um, okay, so it looks like
Okay.
we've got a lot of people wanting messages. And then what I would ask everybody too is I need two things from you. One, to say open in the comments, please. Also, I want to remind you, thank you for please share, tag, subscribe to this Sacred Spiral Network, heart our little post, when you go back out, if you could give us a little heart on the video, because that will help with more people seeing it so they can benefit from this as
I
well.
love
Please
that.
follow Tracy, please follow Kelly and the Sacred Spiral and myself. So thank you. And thank you for sharing as well too. So yes, thank you. Thank you for saying that you're open. And then the second is we do need your consistent feedback in the comments, like Aspen was doing for us as well, because that it keeps the energy flowing, and it makes us know we're on the right track and with the right person of what we're getting too. So, so thank you for all that. Looks like a lot of people are open here. And hi to everybody who's joined us. Abraham, yes, love is life and life is love. You've got it. There we go.
I love
Let's
that.
go. I see Jade's here, and I know Jade is open too. So Tracy, if you would love to take this messages for her kids or her to help
Yes.
better during stressful times,
Oh,
and can she use tapping
okay.
to help her girls?
Okay. So my website is called Tap In with Tracy. My daughter helped me with that. I didn't realize that there's a whole tapping thing, but so I have since explored the whole tapping thing, and it is amazing. It does help you feel grounded, and I feel like tapping and breathing while you're tapping is really important. But that was not the intention when I set the website up. But it is very grounding, and also I feel like with Jade, if your girls to get any frustrations out, it's almost like to say what's frustrating them, and then tapping is helpful. That's just the message I'm getting for Jade, for your girls, is like to just say out loud what they're frustrated about, and tap and just release and let go. I feel like we hold so much within ourselves, and it just bottles up and frustrates us, and tapping and breathing just just lets it all go. And with that, I just feel like they're both gonna. Do you have 2 or 3 girls, Jade? Because I feel like
I
that's going
think
to
it's
help with
2, if I
their energy
remember
shift. I
correctly.
feel like because you're on a major energy shift yourself right now. 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like, Jade, you're on a major energy shift, and that's going to help the whole family with their energy shift as well. And it's like, there's still some releasing to happen. And it's like not something you can rush. I've learned myself. You just have to let things unfold as they will, as Jennifer talked earlier about the awakening and a whole process. But I feel like you're on a mission to manifest some pretty big stuff for your family. And I want to say, just keep going with that, because this feels like a shift that's going to affect not just your family unit with your girls, but outside of the family unit as well, and help with some healing around with the family members around you.
Oh, that's beautiful. And she's resonating with everything you're saying. She says, yes, she's coming
Yeah.
home. That's what healing is. It's
Ah, love
coming
that.
home to you, coming home to you. It's like, I got chills with that. So welcome
I
home,
love,
everybody.
yeah, I love that. Oh,
Like you
that's so
said in the beginning, it's always been within you, just like you said, Tracy. So that was beautiful. Thank you, Jade, for being here with us. We love you, girl. So we appreciate you so much too. Um, let me see here. Vivian, let me see. She's been visiting a friend in the hospital. Any
Aw.
messages that she might have missed? What do you think, Tracy?
Vivian, a friend in the hospital. Oh my gosh. I feel like, Vivian, that you're bringing this friend like such an angelic presence, like when you come to visit her, that it feels very comforting. And I don't know if you hold her hand, but I'm getting something with hand holding, like how important that connection is, and bringing peace to the friend that you're visiting. I feel like you naturally just know what needs to be done, because this feels like it just comes to you naturally. And the person that you're visiting in hospice, I feel like they have relatives that are there in the room with them, waiting for them. So it feels like you can feel all that. Vivian, is how I'm feeling, and that you're just bringing this comfort of everything is going to be okay. And I don't know if I answered that question, but that's just how I'm feeling.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's beautiful, Tracy. And Vivian, I'm not sure if you would understand reading to your friend in hospice, or that could be a suggestion, because I just got reading. Maybe read some
Uh,
stories to her, because she would be able to hear you in a special way. And I just know this from experience, that in hospice, a lot of times people start like reaching out, or they'll wake up spontaneously and have some lucid moments, and then kind of go back out again. And that is kind of like that in and out. They're sort of like a foot in both worlds too, but they become very aware of
mm,
spirit. And it does make passing, a more peaceful experience for them, because they are aware, oh, if spirit can come visit me, that means I can come and visit too. I can come in
I
back in
love
this
that.
way to be
Mm,
with the people that I love. And so maybe that's something that you could share with her. It's like, well, when you go, don't worry, you're going to be able to come back and visit us too, just like when you start seeing spirit too. So I hope that's helpful, but consider maybe reading to her. And I feel like prayers are good. And really feel the air, because the spirit is in the air, it's in the atmosphere. And you'll know.
mm.
I just keep hearing you'll know, because you're going to, oh, it's like you feel it right there too. But
Oh my gosh.
thank you for holding space for your friend in hospice. That's a
Yeah, that's
sacred, graceful experience. I know I want to cry.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
sacred.
Vivian, as Jennifer's talking about that, I'm hearing that there's going to be some knocking. So Jennifer gets knocking. I never get knocking, but I feel, Vivian, you're going to get some knocking, and your friend is going to get some knocking. So I love that. That's so
Yeah.
magical.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I got chills multiplying.
I love that. Yeah,
Whoa, oh my gosh. And
uh,
Vivian, okay, you have been singing to him
I love
and telling
that.
stories about all the good memories. Thank you so much. Okay,
And
perfect.
holding
So
your
thank you.
hand.
So
I love that.
that's
Yeah,
that's validated. That's validation
yeah,
that
yeah.
spirit knows everything that's happened to, and there is a spouse ready to take him to heaven. That happens a lot. It's sometimes some of my favorite medium mystic connections are when I realize that like say someone says their mother has passed away, and I'm connecting with their mother, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Dad came and got her. Dad came and took her to heaven, like arm in arm and hand in. I'm like, oh, the romance.
Oh my
you
gosh.
know,
Yeah.
those are some of my favorites too. That's
That's
so
pretty special.
beautiful too. So thank you so much for your question. We appreciate that you've been here too. Joanne saying she sees lots of double numbers from the angels. Do you get the numbers as well, Tracy?
I do get numbers, and it's crazy how that all works. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll be thinking of somebody that's passed away, and then I'll look at my phone and I'll get the 11. I'm like, oh, I just got chills on that one. Like it is super interesting how the numbers play out, and it's the
yeah,
angels saying, "Listen, we're here, we're
yeah,
with you."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's so beautiful. And these signs and synchronicities, if we think of spirit too as their imagination and the intelligence, hence the numbers and the colors and the music and the vibrations of all that, then we really start to see what I mean by imagination and symbolism of what they use. And it's like the conscious creation of all reality is like beyond of our awareness. But when we think about, we see the numbers, we see the colors, we hear the music and the vibrations and all of those things, like that's like communicating, and it's there around us and in us all the time, which is just fascinating. I'm like, hi Jess. Good to
I
see you.
love that.
Jess gets numbers as well. Little quick
Yeah.
roll call for everybody to see who's still here, who's open for a message, and who has questions as well. I'm just gonna take a little look here to see if there's any questions that I may have missed here too. Everybody loves your energy. So yes, if you could please give us another, um, I'm open to see who's still here. So Tanita is open too. Am I pronouncing your name right? Tanita or Tanita? I hope I am. I try. She would like a message from her boyfriend or her dad in spirit.
Spirit.
She would, yeah.
Tanita, let me see. Tanita. I don't know why when you were asking about that, I'm getting, I feel like the song "Don't Stop Me Now." So I don't know if that resonates with you, because I feel like maybe there's been some starting and stopping, and it feels like your dad actually is saying, "Don't stop now." So it feels like he wants you to keep going and keep. It feels like something connected to your career also with your dad. It feels like he's trying to push you to kind of keep going to that next level or next step. And I don't, I'm also seeing, I don't know if you've recently been to visit their gravesite or dad's gravesite, because I do see something with you there leaving something for him, if that resonates also. And something with the yellow color also. My career. Oh, yes, definitely with your career. Okay, so you are thinking of a career shift, and it feels like your dad's trying to like push you to. It feels like you've got two big choices, and he's saying, you know which one you need to go, just do it. But it feels scary, and that's why I'm feeling with that career choice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so yeah, Tanita's resonating with everything that you're saying. Um, with your partner in spirit, Tanita, I was just feeling like he's bringing you some heart healing, because it does feel like
Mhm.
this passing left you, a little bit brokenhearted, so to speak. And so I just feel like some heart healing coming in for you as well. And the message that I will always be with you and I will always love you too. So the love will always be there, and you can have moments of what I want to say is intimate romantic moments with him from spirit world too, and still enjoy his presence around you. So it's just about being open to it as well too. And I feel like he just wants to take stress off of your shoulders too. So he wants to just kind of like brush that off so you can feel more peaceful and relaxed. I hope, yes, lots of trauma. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that you had to go through that. That's why he's trying to bring the heart healing. So he was showing me that as well
Mhm.
too. And but I also feel with too is the pushing forward, the nudging forward, like Tracy said, don't stop. So it's kind of a double message from the two of them about moving forward, and wanting you to live your life like the best that you can, to it will make them happy. Like they can enjoy life and love through you, of you like making that choice to just really live with joy, like live with joy. Yeah. So he was kind of doing that and trying to take, there's a little stress. You're carrying a lot of like stress and responsibility. So he's trying to come and just while you're here with us, just kind of allow him to do that right now for you and take some of that off. And I feel like you'll feel that. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you, Tanita, too. Want to say hi to
Can I
everybody who's
just add,
joined us.
Jennifer, while you were
Oh,
saying that, I felt like I wanted
please
to get up
do.
and kind of start
Yeah.
dancing. So I feel like
Yeah.
just kind of movement and getting some like, joyous energy around me. That's how they're making me feel. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And that
Yeah.
is a way to move energy and make you feel better. So play your favorite music and get it, girl.
I love that. I love that.
That's what your men would want for you. So that's so beautiful. I want to say hi to our new friends who have just joined us as well. Michael Zinn is here. Hello there, fellow aspects of Source. Ooh, I love that, Michael.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're all aspects of sources.
Yes.
As I like to say, we're all God in a costume, And so we're just like, you're God, I'm God, they're God, we're God. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Michael. Hello to Jack, who's joined us as well. Jack Handel, Fulham, nice to see you. Thank you guys for coming on. Good to see you. Arlene, thank you for joining us as well. Good to see you. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Sometimes not all the comments find their way where they're supposed to be. So please know if I haven't mentioned your name, I love you and I'm happy you're here. So I don't want anybody to feel left out too. So okay, let's see. Let's see if we have time for one or two more. So if we could just do another quick, who's still here, who's still open, or if anyone has a question. Oh, Nancy, you're here. Nancy, hi, girl.
Nancy.
I just saw Nancy's name.
Nancy.
I'm gonna say hi. Nancy
Hello,
and Fran
Nancy.
and Kelly are part of my angel team on For the Love of Spirit too, so they help us with our Sunday service as well. Speaking of which, not this weekend, but next weekend, everybody. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, we have Debbie Romero and Miguel Gonzalez on our next service, so you don't want to miss that. It'll be a longer service. We'll be doing spirit, art, mediumship, all things beautiful. Nancy will be there. Fran will be there. Kelly will be there. I will be there. So come and be with us with that too.
Your
Hi,
services
Kit
are the
Minsky.
best, Jennifer. I have to say, after I go, I just feel such peace and such serenity after I attend your services. It's amazing. And this is being done online, that it could just bring such peace and serenity. So you're
Thank
so
you.
good,
Thank you,
Jennifer. Yeah.
Tracy. And that is the goal. We want everybody to feel like touched by the spirit. And so
Yeah.
spirit has guided me to create this just like space of love that we can all be in together. And if you feel that kind of, and then afterwards it's like, okay, we've done we've done our job. Like this all worked out the way it was supposed to. And also for anybody who's joined late today too, this coming Sunday, Fran Pierce, Shannon Rate, and I will be doing messages from the Enchanted Realms. And so that means fairies and angels and dragons. Oh my, we're very excited to be doing that. So you don't want to miss that. It was a huge success last time, Tracy. So many people showed up
there.
for
I know.
yeah,
I loved it.
it was
Fun.
so great. So we're
So fun.
back by popular demand, we are coming. So hope you all be there too. So awesome as well. So okay, so let's see here. Okay, so I'm trying to see who is open too. Okay. All right, Kit Minsky is open. Joanne Lewis is open. And Jack is open. And let me see. I think that's everybody who said that there's open too. So do you feel, T-Lynn, you posted a question. Let me see where your question went. Apologies for that too. Can you help us find it? Kelly's better at this than me. Okay. How long? Thank you, Kelly. What would we do without Kelly? Thank goodness. Oh, how long it takes for spirit to process if they take in their own life. A family member passed a few weeks ago and just starting to use the pendulum, and it will not respond to any questions about him. So I'll let you start, Tracy.
I actually had, I was in Hawaii and I woke up at 4 a.m. And I have to be honest, I had had a few Mai Tais the night before, but I woke up to a noose hanging over my bed. And I said, oh my God, honey, there's a noose here. And we had no idea who this noose belonged to. And then the next day I'm like, okay, no Mai Tais for me today. Had went to bed 4 a.m. Again, the noose. And it was a coworker of my daughter's brother that had passed away, that had come to tell me, I know, before anyone even knew about it. So I feel like, your family member may not just be ready to talk about it, but I feel like in their own time and way, they will be sending you signs and love. And as I'm talking more about this, it feels like that they kind of like, I almost feel like they might even be like embarrassed that it happened. Like they didn't reach out and should have reached out, or, there was more that could have been said before they decided to take. That's such a, yeah, I don't even know how to express my words on this, but it's just such a traumatic way for someone to go. And it feels like they felt they had no choice, but then reflecting back after, it's like they actually did and just couldn't see those signs. So it feels like he was such a beat up, positive person. Exactly. No, but what he presented to others and what he was feeling inside were just like, it was almost like two separate people. And he also feels like there was something that he was carrying with him from when he was younger that he just couldn't process or kind of deal with, is how I'm feeling also. He was a very soulful person. I don't know what you're getting on this as well, Jennifer. This is just, it feels really painful for everyone. It feels really painful for everyone. But we talked earlier about music, and I feel like there were some songs that he liked to listen to that you're going to be in your car writing, and it's going to randomly come up when you're thinking of him, is how I'm feeling also. He's making me feel that, and he'll be orchestrating some healing for the family from afar.
Yeah. Thank you, Tracey. Yeah, that's very beautiful. And I understand, Lynn, you were just trying to ask a certain kind of question, but this gives an opportunity for a message to come through you too. So a little extra for you as well, love. And what I will add is that what Spirit has shown to me, a couple of things that when someone has taken their life, it's another cause of death. So we've passed by suicide. It's a cause of death, and the soul knows when it's time to go to spirit world. So when it's our time, it's our time, and we don't always understand why the soul may choose to do things in a certain way. But there generally is no pleasant way to pass to spirit, but it's all sacred. So what I would offer to you is that it's sacred. The way that he passed is his sacred way of passing, and there are reasons beyond that which maybe you guys don't understand right now, but more will unfold that will help you all to further on in your journey as well. And what I will also offer, just to answer your question very specifically, is that there's no time and space in spirit world. So when it comes to processing for the spirit person, when it comes to processing with no time and space, it would be for us instantaneous, in comparison, because we're thinking in linear time, and over there it's not that too. So somebody could come back mediumistically to a medium with a message right after they've passed, like within an hour, and it wouldn't be any different than someone coming in a month later or a year later or 10 years later too. So we just have to be open to that. And then the other important thing is just to know that over in spirit world, it's very healed and whole over there, and okay. And so that's just we'll just hold it, in the sacredness that it is, and trust that there may be things that happen that we don't understand, but there is a reason, and share in the bond of love and memory, and that's the most important thing. And choosing life, because I do feel that your friend who passed, that's his journey, but our journey here is live life to your fullest. So everybody's giving you lots of beautiful
I see that.
messages
Yeah.
here. So thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you for that as well. So we really appreciate it. So I
Hmm.
hope that's helpful for everybody. And just, for somebody like passing on to spirit, say in your sleep, we might consider that to be like, the easiest way to pass, because then maybe there's no
Hmm.
suffering, or there's no prolonged illness. But then somebody has
Hmm.
to find that person too, so it might be traumatic for other people too. So there is no pleasant way really to pass, but it's all
Hmm.
sacred. And just trust that, the knowing that they moved into a beautiful place, where they're, in the arms of the divine, and
Hmm.
that they can't always be with us. They can't always be with us, just not in the physical sense of the word, but we're not separate from the spirit world. We're contained in it, if I may say. So hope that was
That was so
helpful.
beautiful, Jennifer. Yes, that's
Uh,
so beautiful. Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everybody. And a lot of beautiful messages here. Tracy, how can people reach you? And is there any like a little message, last minute words you'd like to leave everybody here with today?
Oh my gosh. My website is Tap In with Tracy, and that I'm always open to, sharing stories or connecting with anyone that wants more information. And I would say for me, what the energy shifts right now is just so powerful, and just be open to receiving what energy is supposed to come your way. And the things that fear you the most are really the things that you should be moving forward towards. So if you can do that,
Yeah.
your life is going to be enlightened. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And you offer psychic mediumship readings and healings for people
I
as
do
well.
group readings as well. I just did a group of 8 women at in a private home. So I do that. Yeah, I love to help other people and find
Yeah.
enlightenment and healing, and continue the next step.
Yeah. You are beautiful, Tracy, and I'm so happy that we
Yeah,
got
for
to be
having me.
together here today with everybody. What a great job you did. Your beautiful spirit, beautiful soul that you are, beautiful person, beautiful human being. So I feel very lucky to have had you sharing space and time with us here today with all of our friends who have been on too. So thank you for that, Tracy. Much appreciated. And yes, like you're saying, with the fears, that those are the things that we need to move forward in. And just remember, it's like, that's not fear, it's excitement. It's excitement. Change the mental frame. Because part of you is excited to make the big changes that our minds are afraid of too. So thank you everybody for joining us here. A very happy Thanksgiving to everybody here in the United States. Sending lots of love to you all for your time with family and friends and togetherness. We love you all so very much. Please come on in about 45 minutes to see Kelly's show. The Psychic Hour with Christina Bloom is her special guest today too. So hope to see you all for that. So we hope that you will just have a little lunch or a quick break and come on for that as well. And again, on Sunday, we will be having our special event of Messages from the Enchanted Realms. And we look forward to seeing you for that too. And our next Sunday service is a week from Sunday with Debbie Romero and Miguel Gonzalez. So some fun things to look forward to. Please, everybody, may all of this love and healing, because we have been in the energy of love and healing and divine creation this whole time since we went live. May it be multiplied infinitely, so that every form of consciousness, every being in this world and beyond will feel loved, seen, heard, and known. We are asking for more peace in this world. We are asking that all people, especially our children, have a safe and happy, healthy home to live in, and have food in their bellies, and that we can all keep moving forward in the most beautiful way into more of the heaven on earth oneness. So hang in there with these energy shifts. You've got this. You can do it. Live well, love you well, and please walk with grace, angels. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you, Kelly, for taking care of us. And thank you, everybody, for
Thanks,
joining us
Kelly.
here today. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.